Seated. WUSA Soccer is on the way from Washington, D.C. It's the Philadelphia Charge and Washington Freedom. Mia Hamm charges into her first start of the year against Philadelphia. In 5 games back, she's had 4 goals. Philadelphia's Marinette Pichon, WUSA Player of the Month in June. She's red hot in July, had a hat trick last week. It is the Freedom and Charge next. Stadium in Washington, D.C. The fans are ready for WUSA Soccer on this Sunday afternoon. It is the Philadelphia Charge and Washington Freedom. Hello, I'm Dave Johnson. Lorrie Walker. Welcome to our match between the Freedom and Charge this afternoon. And Lorrie, you talk about the Charge. About a month and a half ago, they lose a key player like Kelly Smith, but Marinette Pichon stays on. And a big reason why she really is a candidate for MVP in this whole league.
Absolutely. The Charge haven't missed a beat. Pichon can score from any position. See here, right there, using the outside of her foot. Right now, she is averaging a goal every 76 minutes.
Now, indeed, Pichon's goals, and there have been so many of them, and so many beautiful goals from Marinette Pichon. They grab the headlines, but the pride of Philadelphia really is their defense, and we have to talk about Heather Mitz.
Heather Mitz, from an attacking wide back position, she's got 3 assists in 4 games, continues to get forward, continues to get involved in the attack, but they have had the most solid defense in the league.
All right, now talking about the Washington Freedom, they've been red hot, winners of 4 of their last 5, but their head coach, Jim Gabarra, received a red card in their win of the Atlanta Beat, so Dave Vanoli will be coaching the team today.
Absolutely, no problems with Dave at the helm. Jim Gabarra will be up here in the press box, have to defend Jim Gabarra, sticking his neck out to try and protect his players. That's the only opportunity that a coach should take a red card.
Now, the way Jim Gabarra and Dave Vanoli's team plays, that means the flank players have to be involved. Barr certainly has been.
Attacking from the left back position, she had a goal and an assist in the last game. She's been very solid. She's solidified, not making mistakes in the back in the offseason. She's been very strong from that left back.
All right, the Washington Freedom are a hot team. The Philadelphia Charge with a hot keeper in Melissa Moore. We have hot action from RFK Stadium on the way. Charge and Freedom, WUSA Soccer.
In a world filled with hollow entertainment, there are people enjoying something else, and they're all around you. So what are they getting that you're not? 15 totally engaging minutes in their day. It's called Reading the Inquirer. And really now, wouldn't it be great to have just one chunk of your day be this engaging? It can be. Just call 888-311-9444. It's a better paper. It's a more rewarding type of fun. It's the Inquirer. Detergent not included.
Before a select ball leaves the factory, it must pass an inspection like no other in the world for flight trajectory, surface abrasion, stitch resiliency, and a perfectly consistent bounce. Some balls, however, are chosen by Chief Inspector Anna Lenkoven for a more extreme set of tests. Her procedures are somewhat confidential.
Phantom season tickets are now on sale. With Phantom season tickets, you'll enjoy the excitement of Phantoms hockey from the same great seat every night at a discounted ticket price. Plus, as a Phantom season ticket holder, you'll be treated to an incredible benefits package that includes unlimited ticket exchanges, discounted parking rates, invitation to the private team skating party, and much more. For more information about Phantom season tickets, call 215-465-4522. Phantoms hockey. Check it out.
Doctor, I just bought this new car. It's loaded. V6, leather, power, everything. I got it all for under $24,000.
And you're having feelings of guilt?
Nah, actually I feel great.
So why are you telling me?
Well, I'm telling everybody.
The XG350 from Hyundai, with the freedom of America's best warranty plan.
Excuse me, you got a minute? Not really. Just got this. V6, leather.
Buy it for $23,999 or 20% financing during Hyundai Summer Sell Down.
Introducing McDonald's new grilled chicken flatbread sandwich. Warm flatbread and grilled chicken melted all together with pepper jack cheese. It's the newest sensation.
This game Freedom is brought to you by Discovery Kids, where it's your world and your adventure. Hyundai. Every Hyundai is back with the Freedom of America's best warranty, the Hyundai Advantage. Freedom is calling. Answer it with Hyundai. By AYSO, the American Youth Soccer Organization. AYSO, where everyone plays. And by Penn Orthopedics. Penn Orthopedics keeps you in the game. Again, David only in charge this afternoon for the Washington Freedom as Jim Gabarra out with the red card as we get set for WUSA Soccer from RFK. And David only gives us the thumbs up. Hey, let's take a look at our Penn Orthopedics starting lineup for the Philadelphia Charge. Again, it's a 4-5-1. Marinette Pichon, the lone forward up top. And Melissa Moore in goal, a 0.85 average. But Zhao Lihong will be very much involved in that midfield as we look at Melissa Moore. That 0.85 goals against average. That's tops in the WUSA. Our Got Milk starting lineup for the Washington Freedom. Indeed, Kerry Moore has been a big reason for the success of the Freedom on defense this season. Erin Fahey gets the starting goal as Suri Mullenix is out with a hand injury suffered at the end of June against the New York Power, and Fahey getting a win in their victory over the Atlanta Beat on the 3rd of July. It is the Freedom in the blue jerseys, the Charge in the white. The Freedom trying to keep their streak going. The Charge, even with the loss to Kelly Smith back on the 1st of June, they have maintained the heat on Carolina, and it's a Charge team that, boy, you have to go all the way back to May to find a loss for this Philadelphia team. So truly an amazing season for the Philadelphia club. Again, it is the Charge in the white, the Freedom in the blue. And again, the Charge with that 4-5-1. So, Lorrie, as much as we talk about Pichon's goal, this is really a team that's built around defense.
Absolutely. As you alluded to in the opener, Philadelphia Charge really does pride themselves on defending.
McDowell makes the cross, though, as Philadelphia on the attack. Zhao Lihong tracks it down. Now stepping up from her left back position, Benson puts it in the box. Pichon gets a head on it, and it will be a goal kick coming up for Erin Fahey. But right away, Marinette Pichon with a touch on the ball. Her first hat trick coming last week in the 3-1 win over New York. But just an incredible story with a goal every 76, 77 minutes.
Absolutely. She's so exciting to watch. She's such a fun player. She can get the ball at her feet. She can get in behind defenses. You talk to some of the other coaches in the league. The thing that scares them is her timing running at the back line.
See, the Charge have had a lot of success at RFK Stadium and against Washington. And the Freedom trying to turn that trend around as they will have a quota kick. So we look at Rebekah Iverson, will be part of the defense for Philadelphia. Melissa Moore, nothing short of spectacular this season. Mia Hamm making her first start of the year. 5 games back from the knee injury, 4 goals in those 5 games. Mia Hamm with the service. This one swings out. Grubb, though, keeps it alive. Lorrie Fair clears it. Now Cook drives it in. Chipped into the 6, headed away by Jenny Benson. Zhao Lihong now from the left flank. An exciting player, Zhao Lihong.
Zhao Lihong is the player that Mark Krikorian, the Philadelphia Charge coach, says cannot touch the ball enough. Every time the ball gets into her feet, there's sort of an air of, they know that she can handle the ball as often as the ball will come to her. She does great, exciting things from that wide spot.
That was an air of, very well done.
That's a coaching sound coming out there.
Well, I know you quoted Mark Krikorian on that. You wouldn't want to be misquoted on that. Heather Mitz playing it back to Rebekah Iverson. They'll switch things to the left here to Jenny Benson. And she's been called up by the national team, Jenny Benson.
Jenny Benson has got tremendous speed. I think she'll be a nice addition into our back line with the women's national team.
Good defense by Kerry Moore. The ball intended for Marinette Pichon. She'll gladly concede the corner kick.
Interesting thing about playing against the system in the 4-5-1. Defensively, Washington's going to have a tendency to allow their backs to go forward, and you can't leave Pichon by herself, marked up just 1 versus 1.
Lorrie Fair to take the corner kick. Pichon does get ahead on it. Emmy Barr will track this down, and she'll clear it. Heather Mitz, though, will get to it for Philadelphia. And 4 assists in the last 4 games for Heather Mitz. Iverson trying to play it to the flank, but Barr spanks it upfield for Washington. And And it will be a throw-in coming up for Philadelphia. As we look at Heather Mitz, who we talked about at the top of the broadcast. Hamm winning the ball. Abby Wambach, the header. And now Benson for Philadelphia. Last time these two teams met, it was a 1-1 draw. Marinette Pichon getting the goal in the 87th minute to break Washington's heart. Zhao Lihong stepping forward. Mitz with the left foot. Fahey is able to come up with it. But Heather Mitz with the left foot. Testing Erin Fahey.
Once again, Heather's not afraid to get involved in the attacking end, playing against two forwards that Washington has with Wambach and Pichon up top. It gives her an opportunity to go forward and make something happen on her own. It's nice to see her try and pull the trigger from about 30 yards. Again, ball starting from Lihong, crosses over. Heather Mitz finds herself in a good spot with her left foot. Not a big problem there for Erin Fahey. Good for Erin to get her hands on the ball early in this game.
Erica Iverson now. Plays it wide. Kerry Connors. Connors back to Iverson. Now Mitz. Fouet on Mitz. Connors coming up in support on that flank, but it'll be a throw-in coming up for Washington. So we look at Heather Mitz, who will venture forward from that right back position. Emmy Barr. Pichon showing for the ball, eludes a tackle. Zhao Lihong putting it forward, but good defense by Washington. Now Tullock. Zhao Lihong marked by Skylar Little. Lorrie fair. Mitz now for Philadelphia. Good possession by the Charge. Rebekah McDowell. Wide to Connors. She will drive it. Jen Grubb will trap it. Grubb will clear it, but Philadelphia will get more possession here, Lorrie.
Yeah, absolutely. Philadelphia is doing a nice job right now just to maintain the ball, move the ball around. They've attacked up the right side, attacked up the left side.
That was a good effort there by Heather Mitz, playing the diagonal from the flank. And Marinette Pichon, all she has to do is get part of that boot on it to redirect it. That could be another goal for her.
Well, again, when you talk to Mark Krikorian about the qualities of Pichon that make her special, the first thing that he points out is she's just a pure goal scorer. What he means by that is she has the patience to allow the game to develop. She has the confidence to take tries, take shots. She also has the confidence that right now she leads the league in offsides, and so she has the confidence to run at that back line and isn't worried about being called in an offsides position.
In 12 goals, 1 assist, 3 coming last week against the New York Powers. We look at Jen Grubb on the free kick. Looking for the target of Abby Wambach. Jennifer Tietjen will just let that go out of play. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Melissa Moore. And she really, since last year, just came storming into Philadelphia's camp and became a major story in the WUSA. Hey, Freedom God Milk bobblehead dolls are coming to RFK Stadium this summer. Come out of the Freedom Game on July 24th. First 3,000 kids 14 years and under will receive a Jackie Little or Skylar Little doll sponsored by God Milk. Don't miss Twin Night with Washington Freedom Wednesday, July 24th at 7 o'clock. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com and call 202-432-SEAT. Jackie Little on the bench for the Freedom. Abby Wambach now. Steffi Jones going forward, makes a nice run. Jones making the cross, blocked by Tietjen. Helping out is Jenny Benson. Now Jennifer Tietjen. Wonder if you can tell the difference in identical twins on a bobblehead doll. Fouet decides to have a go. It'll be a goal kick coming up. Look at Fouet. Trying to see if she could just pinch something by Melissa Moore, not to be had, and a goal kick coming up for Moore. But getting back to what I was talking about, Moore, just has been a great story from dating back to last year.
Well, and speaking with Jim Gabarra regarding this game, she is going to have the daunting task of having to mark Pichon, and she has done a great job in the last few games. She marked Prince from Carolina, has had to mark Hooper from Atlanta, and as well as Tiffany Milbrett from New York.
They're getting it wide from Mitz. Barr intervenes. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Philadelphia.
That has to help Moore's confidence to know that anytime they're coming up against the top attacker from an opponent, that it's her job to be the one to mark them out of the game.
Talking about Kerry Moore of the Washington Freedom. Mia Hamm capitalizing on the mistake. Now, Baiji. Hamm coming up the left side. Counterattack is on. Iverson is on Hamm. Hamm going on Iverson. Hamm goes down. It'll be a goal kick. And the Sale Sampas, the referee, I think with the correct call there. Goal kick coming up for Philadelphia. We look at our referee this afternoon.
See, Mia is starting from a midfield position here, but she has the green light to go ahead and get forward. And the nice thing about the combination right now with Baiji and Mia Hamm is that either one, they can interchange in those positions as a forward, as that midfield attacking spot.
Header by Ann Cook. To Bouet, Abby Wambach puts it in the sky for Baiji. She gets behind Jenny Benson. Moore fumbles it. And it'll be a penalty kick. Baiji is fouled. Penalty kick for the Washington Freedom as Baiji was able to get behind the defense and cause the havoc for the Philadelphia.
Baiji is a tremendous fighter. You can see the ball is bouncing. You'd see some communication there. Center back with the goalkeeper. Little miscommunication. Baiji gets taken out in the process. Baiji absolutely trying to play the ball, just gets sandwiched between the two charge players.
Jenny Benson with a push, I guess is the call. A free kick coming up. Penalty kick coming up. Mia Hamm to take it, strikes it. And Mia Hamm does not connect.
Well, the Washington fans saw this last week with Charmaine Hooper stepping up and taking a penalty kick this early in the game. If you've never played the sport, it looks like it's an easy kick to take, but it really isn't quite as easy as it looks.
Suddenly that goal gets very small. Melissa Moore with the goal kick. Now Hamm trying to atone for that. Good tackle there by Heather Mitz of Philadelphia. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Washington. Barr. Jennifer Tietjen trying to clear it. Washington putting the pressure on. Kerry Connors marked by Ann Cook of Washington. Now Heather Mitz. Good possession there by Philadelphia. Zhao Lihong on the attack. Playing it for Pichon. Pichon fouls Kerry Moore, but we see the matchup you talked about. Kerry Moore on Marinette Pichon.
Well, it's going to be an interesting battle to watch that develop. Pichon right now might be one of the quickest players in the WUSA. Kerry Moore, obviously, she's got a tremendous amount of speed. I'm not quite sure where that fell right there. Referee's making it a little bit of a mystery to us at the moment.
Abby Wambach playing it back to Steffi Jones. Now wide Abby Barr. Mitz shuts her down, throw in Washington.
Come on, Barr!
Lorrie fair clears, and Cook steps up for Washington.
Get it in! Get to your end!
Barr loses a tackle by McDowell. That takes the cross and fails her. Good work by Abby Barr to elude the challengers from the Philadelphia defenders.
Yeah, nice job of Barr to get forward, and now she's having to track back about 100 yards at full pace.
Kerry Moore steps in front of Marinette Pichon.
It's going to be difficult for Barr to continue to get forward. She's going to have to get through Connors, get through Mitz on the outside. Normally, the last few games, there haven't been outside midfielders. When you play against Boston, for instance, they play with that pinched midfield. It makes that channel much easier to get through. Atlanta plays the same way with pinched midfield.
Abby Skylar Little on the throw-in. Headed away by Jenny Benson. Tullock flicks it forward, but Washington will control. Benson. Zhao Lihong back to Lorrie third. Now Philadelphia working for the attack. Turn. Zhao Lihong. Pichon goes wide. Now she'll tuck in. Zhao Lihong goes wide, but Skylar Little just estes Zhao Lihong the entire way.
Skylar Little does a fantastic job there to stand up. Lihong just stays with her, forces her to cut left, cut right, denies the service, which is really key when you have Pichon.
Watch your matchups with your runner, Blue.
Bending back the other direction. See right there, Little just decides to go ahead and tackle from the side, which is legal. Nice job to continue to keep the pressure on Lihong.
Rebekah Iverson got a header on that. Now Connors. Stacey Tullock with the left foot sails over Iverson. This time it's Iverson. Who got the initial and then got things going for Philadelphia. Wambach shuts down Jenny Benson, and it'll be a throw-in coming up for Philadelphia. So look at Abby Wambach, who potential superstar in the WUSA. Easy. Rookie year. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Washington. Speaking of superstars, it'll be a Hamm, but this penalty kick not what she wanted.
But we take a look here, and Mia steps up and just pulls the ball a little too much with her right foot. Everything looks like it's on key. She's over the ball. She just pulls it. You can see there her hips kind of came across a little bit too much. She pulls it wide to her left.
But again, since coming back from knee surgery, she's been nothing short of amazing, even by her standards. 7 minutes into her first game, she scores a goal. She's had 4 goals in 5 games. You talk about easing back into something. She's just jumped back in.
Absolutely, and it's really helped her team's confidence. Knowing that, Abby Wambach, the rookie, doesn't have to just carry this team, and elevating them from 7th place up into the traffic jam for 3rd.
Tietjen with the cross, away the header. Steffi Jones trying to win it. Stacey Tullock instead does for Philadelphia. Rebekah Iverson. Wide to Kerry Connors. Marked by Barr. McDowell. Cook wins it. It'll be a corner kick or no kick. Let's say no kick. Whenever it goes down, this is something else coming to Villanova Stadium. If you want to sleep on the field with a Rose play, come out to Villanova Stadium Saturday, July 20th for Scout Out 2002. In addition to camping out on the field, you get to watch a movie under the stars, play games, even meet some of the team. You can call 215-467-GOAL or visit PhiladelphiaCharge.com to find out how you can sleep over with the Charge. Girl Scouts, make that call, 215-467-GOAL. What a neat idea that is. Be able to sleep out, see the game, watch a movie. Got your whole weekend covered.
Absolutely.
That's definitely a sleepover with a twist. Rebekah McDowell. No sleeping here for Philadelphia as they're on the attack. And it will be a throw-in coming up for Washington. Rebekah McDowell, of course, are the strong North Carolina representation in the WUSA.
Rebekah returns to action after sitting out a couple of games due to injury herself. But I tell you what, I've never met a player who could run as much as Rebekah McDowell. She was a cross-country star in high school, and she can just go all day long.
Lorrie fair. Wide for Jenny Benson. On the overlap is Zhao Lihong. Zhao Lihong now will make the cross. It's a good one. Fahey snares it. With Marinette, Pichon prowling right there in the 6-yard box. Good cross.
Nice job here by Erin Fahey just to scoop this out right at the top of her 6. Little criticism that we had of her last week, not coming out and dominating that space early.
She would love to have it back. She was looking at that far post, but it went far away.
It's an uncharacteristic strike of Baiji. Usually she gets right a hold of these. You can see she just gets underneath and sort of swings from a low to a high position, launches it into the stands.
Really didn't get the head down either. 18 minutes in, no score. Washington in the blue, Philadelphia in the white. The Charge wants so badly to finish at the top of the WUSA table at the end of the season. Washington wants so badly to make the playoffs. Zhao Lihong. Benson making a run. Jenny Benson. Hamm comes over with a tackle. Benson gets out of it. Zhao Lihong makes the cross. Steffi Jones sweeps it away, the German international. And a throw-in coming up for Philadelphia.
Mia Hamm's doing a very nice job from that midfield spot. Not a spot that she's particularly familiar with. Has had to play there a little bit and nursing back some injuries. Played there a little last year when she had her shoulder injury. Doing a great job defensively to get back and to cover.
Look at Poo Wei for the Washington Freedom as a free kick coming for the Philadelphia Charge. Zhao Lihong.
Come on, Blue!
Busy today already on that left flank. She's had an assist in 3 out of the last 4 games as Zhao Lihong plays it back to Erica Iverson. Through midfield, Zhao Lihong. Now McDowell tries to chip it, and Cook blocks it. McDowell stays on it and is fouled, and a free kick coming up for Philadelphia from a dangerous position. A quick one is taken. Heather Mitz plays it back to Erica Iverson. Poo Wei heads it for the Washington Freedom. Baiji gets out of a Jenny Benson tackle. Some magic by Baiji. Trying to get a step on Iverson. She goes down. There will be no foul, and Philadelphia will corral it. Tietjen gets out of a tackle from Mia Hamm. Mia Hamm has really been battling this afternoon. Skylar Little sends it to the box. Iverson clears it. Now Tullock will play it wide to Kerry Connors on that right side for Philadelphia. Connors surveys. She'll get help from Heather Mitz if she needs it, but instead puts it in the middle.
Maybe the interesting thing about Mia playing in the midfield, the goal is to get Mia 90 minutes fit. There's no position better on the field than to put her in the midfield, to force her to have to attack, to have to defend. And her minutes keep growing every single game.
As she'll run him just a bit in the midfield. Kerry Connors will make the cross. Pichon gets a foot on it. Steffi Jones will clear it for Washington. And Jones will not get to her own clearance. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the Philadelphia Charge. But we saw the danger of Marinette Pichon on this cross. She gets a foot on it.
Absolutely. From a deep end-line position, you can see all of the Washington defenders having to face their own goal. Even Steffi Jones here, as she tries to smack that ball out, facing her own goal. That is what the Charge want to do, get in behind Washington's back line. They've done a nice job of that so far.
Lorrie Fair has a go, but it'll be Erin Fahey to scoop it up for Washington as we look at Lorrie Fair. 22 minutes in. Wambach. Now Mia Hamm gets inside Fair. Hamm now in the box from behind. Benson wins the tackle. From behind, Jenny Benson cleanly pies it away from Mia Hamm. At the back now, Kerry Moore, as we mentioned. She's the player that's on Marinette Pichon this afternoon. Abby Wambach.
Take it, Bennett.
Wambach on the ball. Poo Wei. Hamm. Tried to get it to the 6. She wanted it obviously a little bit further out. And now Connors for Philadelphia. Free kick coming up for the Charge. Well, here's Jenny Benson coming from behind.
Yep, Jenny Benson coming from a deep position. Well, it's actually a little bit from the side. Mia takes 2-3 steps. She's not going to get that call. If she had double planted, maybe the referee would have gone ahead and given her the call. Yep, definitely a good no call there.
For Rebekah McDowell. Mitz. go out and play for a throw-in, I believe, in the corner there. No score 24 minutes in as we look at the Chinese international for Washington, Bu Wei.
Dave, one of the differences that I'm noticing right now that Jim Gabarra alluded to is that the outside backs aren't going to be able to get forward as much with, you know, a wide midfielder for the charge as well as that wide back. Those are the players that have been setting play for the Freedom in the last couple of games.
Steffi Jones clears it away. Throw-in coming up for the Philadelphia Charge. Rebekah McDowell. Marked by Barr. Also Ann Cook there. She goes down. And we'll get a free kick coming up for Philadelphia from a very dangerous position. So now the Freedom have to defend this set piece, Lord.
It's a very dangerous spot just outside of the box. Enough of an angle. Probably not going to see a shot on goal. They're going to try and serve to the back post.
Jenny Benson with the left foot. Pichon trying to get a head on it. Grubb is able to poke it away, and now put away for Washington. Andy Barr. Looking for Baiji. She makes a run, gets inside the defense, but Moore is off her line. She did get inside Jennifer Tietjen, but this time not the chaos we saw the last time that happened. Philadelphia was able to sort it out.
Baiji is such a quick player. Again, as the ball is coming in, it's going to take that short hop. Difficult decision for Moore to come out. Does a nice job to clean that ball up. Absolutely no danger there on her part. You can see the ball coming in. Baiji's tracking it. Moore just scoops it right up, holds the ball high so that there's no chance that that's going to knock off of anyone's head.
Philadelphia now at the back, Lorrie Fair. Now Kerry Connors. She'll start the attack for the Charge. Try to work it through midfield to Fair. Benson's open here on the left. Benson now. Looking for Zhao Lihong. Skylar Little gets it away from her. Washington. Turnover in the midfield. The Freedom, they'll recover. Barr is challenged by Heather Mitz. Barr needs help. She finds it in the form of Jen Grubb. Grubb now looking for Abby Wambach. Wambach marked by Iverson. Wambach puts it across the 6. Melissa Moore scoops it up.
Abby Wambach does a very nice job to deal with a difficult ball. The ball had backspin on it, so as it hit the ground, kind of spun back into her, which slowed her down. She had to change what her initial approach was.
Bu Wei heads it forward, but Iverson stamps that out. Mia Hamm. Skylar Little. It's blocked there by McDowell. Hey, Discovery.
Take a look as Abby has to kind of change, takes a look to see who she can play the ball to, does a nice job to take the ball end line. Again, getting to the end line forces the Charge to be facing their own goal. That's a difficult position to be in. As a goalkeeper, you hate to have your defense facing you. A mistouch can result in an own goal.
Marinette Pichon. Plays it back to Jennifer Tietjen. Zhao Lihong. Now Fair. There'll be a throw-in coming up for the Washington Freedom. Skylar Little.
Come on, let's keep it now. Keep it.
I think we can hear Mark Krikorian shouting to his players, keep it now. The possession we saw early has been lacking lately.
Now, both teams playing a little bit disjointed. So we talked to both coaches ahead of time. They felt that that was one of the keys to the game. Whoever maintained possession most create, obviously, the more opportunities.
Kerry Connors with the left foot. Tullock will not get to it, and it's Steffi Jones. There's it down by G with the speed. Philadelphia. Connors. McDowell on the flank, double teamed by Cook and Grubb. Back to Rebekah Iverson, and Philadelphia does now have a chance to settle it and build it up, although not with that turnover. Wambach trying to keep it alive as Benson. She goes sliding in to Skylar Little. Bit of a cringing tackle there. It'll be a free kick coming up for Washington.
This is a tackle that we've seen all too many times in the World Cup. Cleats up is an obvious call. This actually could even result in a card. You can see her cleats going straight into her stomach. Most situations, that's going to result in a card.
Barr. Tackle with authority, Heather Mix. And it'll be a throw-in coming up for the Washington Freedom. Hey, Discovery Kids, it's time for the Discovery Kids fun fact. The Earth orbits the sun at more than 66,000 miles each hour. That's more than 1,000 times faster than a car drives on a highway. Check out the Discovery Kids channel for more fun facts. Discovery Kids, available locally on Comcast and Cox Communications. By the end of the season, we could have graduate degrees in fun facts. We're on top of all this. You don't seem impressed with that fun fact. You already knew it, I guess.
I'm still impressed with the fish in Maryland that are walking around.
That would be the snakeheads. Yes, there are walking fish here in the state of Maryland. So for our Pennsylvania and Delaware listeners, stay where you are. Mia Hamm now. By G. Away with the cross. Iverson heads it away. Skylar Little. Intervening, Stacey Tullock. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the Philadelphia Charge. 31 minutes in, no score. Your thoughts so far where this is going for both teams?
Well, I think right now the Freedom are sitting back a little bit. I mean, obviously, you've got to respect Pichon and what her abilities are, but she is one player, and there are 4 players that are sitting back there with her. The thing that has been very successful for Washington is Barr and Little getting forward. That's not happening right now. I think that's going to be something that Washington has to change. Philadelphia is known as sort of a slow, build it up, and get into the attack slowly. I think they've actually maintained possession much better. It's difficult to defend them because basically one of the 5 midfielders scoots forward and becomes the other forward, and it's difficult to organize that from a defensive perspective.
Skylar Little showing Fortis Hamm with Jenny Benson on her. And those two, Benson and Hamm, will be on the same team next week, the U.S. national team, as they take on Norway. And that'll be difficult for both Philadelphia and Washington. Philadelphia has to play Carolina next week, and Washington has to play San Jose, the team they're even with in the standings. Away now. Flicking into Baiji. Melissa Moore comes out. Baiji goes down. Moore has it. But there certainly have been some event-filled moments with Baiji so far in this game.
It's a tough collision there. I'd like to see Baiji stand up fairly quickly. Probably a little problem there with her back. No foul here. Melissa Moore is coming out to play the ball. Just tough collision. As you watch here, Baiji does a nice job to always keep her eyes on the ball. Very rarely looks to see where that goalkeeper is coming from. And obviously that can result in collisions and her inability to avoid those collisions.
But also took kind of a difficult hop. And I think that added to the angle that Moore and Baiji collided. But Baiji is okay. But Melissa Moore certainly has seen a lot of Baiji with those dangerous runs. She used that deceptive speed. As the fans here in Washington happy that Baiji is okay.
I think Baiji could win an award for the most taped player in the WUSA.
Yes. Has a heavily bandaged left knee. 2 goals, 3 assists as we look now at Emmy Barr.
What's left? 28.
And
Time face.
the show of sportsmanship will concede it back to Philadelphia. Rebekah Iverson. 2 previous meetings, Philadelphia winning one, and the last one ended in a tie. A sore point for Washington as they thought they were going to get out of Philadelphia with a win, but it was Marinette Pichon with a goal in the 87th minute. So Washington trying to avenge that, but also help their own position in the standings in this just amazingly tight battle for the last 2 playoff spots. And we'll talk about that coming up at halftime. Zhao Lihong out for Philadelphia. Coming in, Skylar Little. Gets a step. Skylar Little gets back, still gets a cross off, gets the 6. Grubb volleys it away. Kerry Connors for Rebekah McDowell. Nice ball. And Cook, though, is marking McDowell. McDowell trying to squeeze into the box. Instead, she's sandwiched and fouled. And a free kick.
Emmy, quickly, the ball's that way. Put the ball that way.
Well, as Benson's jogging over as their free kick specialist, have an opportunity to watch here. Cook stepping in, Barr, both of them colliding, sandwiching. Absolutely a foul. Very difficult spot. That's 2 fouls in that area. Washington needs to cut down on those. Again, I think that the target here is going to be Pichon. She's in a high spot, but she's so tricky.
Benson, but Fahey gets it near post.
Yeah, absolutely. Pichon is the target on most of those services. She's so quick. She just weaves in and out of players. Benson to Pichon has been a nice connection for Philadelphia on their free kicks.
A throw in for Philadelphia. Tietjen at the back for the charge. Now Iverson. And again, this is a Philadelphia team. As McDowell is fouled, free kick coming up for Philadelphia. That sorely misses Kelly Smith. And when she went down on the 1st of June, I think a lot of people wondered how they would respond as a card is issued to Ann Cook.
Well, absolutely.
Philadelphia has responded.
Yeah, Kelly Smith is such a phenomenal player, and as we take a look here at the foul. Again, sort of a situation from behind, 2 players falling, 1 being dragged down from behind. McDowell making sure that the referee knows that that wasn't friendly touch play. As you were talking about Kelly Smith, obviously the Philadelphia fans, very familiar with Kelly and what she's able to do. Washington fans, I mean, Kelly Smith has league MVP written all over her. She's had 2 years. She's struggled with injuries, obviously suffering a torn ACL early on in the season. You talk to Mark Krikorian, Kelly Smith has every quality that you look for. And it's very rare that a coach says she has every quality. Physically, she's so strong, she's so fast, she's so fit. Tactically, technically, she has it all. As Mark says, she strikes the ball like a man, which is actually a tremendous compliment. It just addresses how powerful Kelly Smith is.
Zhao Lihong puts it into space, but Washington will easily sort it out. Almost 38 minutes in now. And Erin Fahey getting the starting goal. Siri Mullenix injured her hand in the game against New York Power at the end of June. Fahey did well in a victory over the Atlanta Beat, trying to do well this afternoon against Philadelphia. And it'll be a goal kick again for Erin Fahey. Hey, if you want a great deal, The Charge, offering fantastic discounts for groups of 15 or more. It's always more fun with your friends. 215-467-GOLD to get your special deal. Bring the whole office out. Nice excuse to act silly when you have the whole gang together. You save money. Pichon for Kerry Connors. Washington has numbers back. Connors, though, this ricochets. It'll be a corner kick as a ricochet on the defender, but anytime that happens, it's anything goes. You can end up back in the goal.
Absolutely. Pichon does a nice job to check back and find the ball into Kerry Connors wide. I think it's a deflection off of Emmy Barr there. Creates a little bit of a problem for Fahey.
Lorrie fair now to take the corner kick. For Philadelphia, Fahey punches away. Hamm volleys it away. Baiji, that was the wrong touch, but Baiji recovers. As Baiji actually played it back in the box, and now Hamm will clear it. That first touch just kind of failing Baiji there.
I think Baiji trying to combine with Mia Hamm. Mia moving forward and missing that connection with her. Kerry Connors here striking the ball. Difficult ball for the goalkeeper. There's several players in that space. Fahey does a nice job to punch it out instead of trying to catch and hold the ball there in traffic.
Zhao Lihong gets it in the box at the 6, and we're going to get a foul called on Kerry Connors. Free kick coming up for Washington. Good look at Emmy Barr, who just coming off arguably her best game of the year against Atlanta with the goal and the assist. And as you mentioned, Jim Gerardo, the head coach, is so pleased with how she's developed this year.
Well, we always say that defenders cannot make a mistake in a game, and that was something that haunted Washington last year. And Barr certainly has done a nice job to cut down on her mistakes. Jim Gabarra says that they can only track one mistake she's had all year. That's a tremendous compliment.
A throw-in coming up for Philadelphia, and that really was made possible by Pichon. Just the touches. She is so fun to watch. And that touch put into space, forced Washington to defend it. Now the corner kick. Heather Mitz. Jones heads it away. Abby Wambach. Washington really has not been able to get Wambach involved in this first half.
Well, again, I think that you can attribute that to having to change their style a little bit. Washington not having those outside backs attacking as much, being forced to play longer balls into their forwards, and they're just not finding their forwards' feet right now.
Skylar Little does step up for this one.
Hey, come on, Tullock, help her! Help her, Tullock! Come on,
As you
Rebekah.
mentioned, the backs are staying at home for Washington. Steffi Jones. Stacey Tullock wins it. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Washington. Well, a lot coming up at halftime, as again Lorrie and I have been talking about, just the importance of this time period. We're going to talk about the home stretch of the WUSA. Also, this week in the WUSA, some of the great highlights coming up at halftime. Steffi Jones now. And Clark. Swept away by Iverson. Jen Grubb, though, has it. Skylar Little. Jen Grubb. And now Washington can build from the back.
Absolutely, Washington doing a nice job of just knocking the ball around. And again, the numbers situation with 4 backs against 1 forward, they should be able to do that all day long. Try and probe up one side. If they don't like what they have, bring it back, probe up the other side.
Throw-in coming up from Philadelphia. David Oley is busy on the sidelines, standing the whole time, pacing.
Well, I'm sure there's a little bit of nervousness for him as he makes his debut as the interim head coach for a game.
Maybe it's something about that spot, because just last night, Ray Hudson's the same type of coach who works the sideline. He was standing there, and he was very active on the sideline. David Oley, get back to that in a moment. Mia Hamm. Hamm strikes it, and ricochets. Moore has it. David Oley and Jim Gabarra's friendship goes way back to their time with the U.S. national team together in the late 80s. David Oley was an assistant at UCLA to Joy Fawcett, and of course now assistant to Jim Gabarra. And I also knew him when he played beach soccer. One of the best television moments in my life was hanging out at Miami Beach doing beach soccer. David Oley was a goalkeeper for the U.S. team.
Dave was such a tremendous goalkeeper. That was actually in my era when I was back playing as a goalkeeper. I was watching him on TV. Sorry, Dave.
Away. Was Lorrie's era at the University of North Carolina. Onside. Baiji. Skylar Little in support. Looking for Abby Wambach. It does not reach her as Iverson intervenes. We got a foul and a free kick coming up. So Iverson preventing it from getting to Abby Wambach. 43 minutes in as this remains deadlocked.
Well, it's interesting. We go back and we take a look here. Baiji onsides, just stumbles over the ball a little bit. Opportunity to try and play it wide again. Skylar Little in a good position there, plays across to Wambach. Now, this is one of the criticisms that resulted in Gabarra being thrown out last week. Wambach's just a big player, and as players knock off of her, they have a tendency to fall down. That's not necessarily always a foul, and that was what Jim Gabarra was preaching last week in trying to protect Abby Wambach. Just because she's bigger doesn't mean that she is constantly fouling people.
Way now for Washington. Mia Hamm. She tried to get into the flank, could not, and now tense battle in midfield. Rebekah McDowell, the foul. Free kick coming up for the Washington Freedom. 1 minute of stoppage time is going to be added, so that clock reaches 46 on your screen. The first half will be in the books, give or take. But Washington with some good ventures here in the waning moments of this first half. Mia Hamm, the service, Moore punches it away. Iverson is down, the defender for Philadelphia, as Moore had to charge out with a lot of force. Zhao Lihong gets it to Kerry Connors. This will go out of play. And Iverson is still down at the other end of the field.
Well, Iverson kind of got knocked on both sides here. She got knocked in the initial, and then as Moore was retreating back into her goal after she punched the ball out, she stepped on Iverson. Sort of stumbling over her.
So we may have some more stoppage time obviously added on. So Iverson paying the price. But Moore doing a good job. It was a very good chip there by Mia Hamm.
See here, Moore coming out. Iverson goes up. She gets sandwiched in between.
Wambach is there.
Wambach and Moore.
She was definitely in the most unenviable position on the field on that play.
She's up. She looks like she's okay. She's going to have to step off the field and then come back on once play resumes. Will be two large bodies to be sandwiched in between.
Well, and she is, of course, recent play kept it away from Abby Wambach. It was fouled by Abby Wambach before that, so she's got a big challenge this afternoon dealing with Abby Wambach, does Erica Iverson. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Philadelphia.
Well, similar to Moore, as we've been chatting about her on the Washington end, Iverson has been a player that's filled in for Doris Fitchen since she retired last year.
Well, that's it for the first half of play. No score between the Philadelphia Charge and Washington Freedom. Melissa Moore is used to keeping a clean sheet. Mia Hamm trying to break through for the Washington Freedom, keep their hot streak alive, and very tense battle this afternoon at RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. No score at the half. Lots coming up at halftime. Come on back. WUSA Soccer on this Sunday afternoon.
Electricity is in the air and on the field as the Philadelphia Charge women's professional soccer shocked the main line for a second season. Stay after the game and get autographs from your favorite players in the Maytag Autograph Alley.
Storm out to Villanova Stadium this Sunday, July 7th at 7 p.m. for Powerpuff Girls Night and meet the Powerpuff Girls. The first 3,000 kids 14 and under will receive a Powerpuff Girls tattoo.
Exciting action on the field and at the Fun Zone before and during each game. Try a family pack, just $48. Get ready to be charged.
Someday, your local physician will consult with national cancer experts. Someday, families will learn about the genetics of cancer. Someday, your doctor will prescribe medications to reduce the risk of cancer. That someday is now at Delaware County Regional Cancer Center at Delaware County Memorial Hospital, linked with Fox Chase Cancer Center to provide the latest in cancer prevention and treatment for excellence in cancer care close to home. Call 610-284-8182.
If you need joint surgery, you want the best doctors. Penn Orthopedics has more orthopedic surgeons than anyone in the region. They perform more kinds of bone and joint surgery, and they're leaders in developing materials for longer-lasting results. And Penn is ranked among the nation's best. It all adds up to the best reason to choose Penn Orthopedics. You'll get a real kick out of your Penn doctor. Call 1-800-789-PENN.
the coolest place for family fun? Flyer Skate Zone. Public skating is offered 362 days a year at each Flyer Skate Zone Family Entertainment Center. With ice skating, a game room, snack bar, and more, there's something fun for everyone in the family. Rental skates are available, as well as skate sharpening, equipment, and apparel, including Flyers and Phantoms merchandise in the Gear Zone. Flyer Skate Zone is also a great place for birthday parties. For public skating times, call 1-877-23-SKATE.
The warranty for the Elantra was the best out there.
It also has a long list of features, including front and side airbags. It's the only car in its class that has them standard.
The gas mileage is excellent. It's a great value for the money.
The Hyundai Elantra at just $12,549. It's a solid value.
Freedom is calling, yeah.
Get $750 cash back or 0.9% financing during our Hyundai Summer Sell Down.
This game is brought to you by NovaCare. NovaCare Rehabilitation, the leader in physical rehabilitation. USA. Orthopedics keeps you in the game. Back at RFK Stadium, halftime on this Sunday afternoon. It is the Washington Freedom and Philadelphia Charge. Dave Johnson back with Lorrie Walker. We do this all the time. Take a look at the standings. We know the top 4 teams make the playoffs, so we try to figure it out. We know you do it at home. So let's play along at home and take a look at these standings and look at the situation where Philadelphia controls their own destiny, you would think, down the stretch to get one of the top 2 spots. But Washington is caught in that traffic jam for one of the bottom 2 spots among the playoff positions.
Absolutely. I think it's safe to say that Carolina and Philadelphia are on the top 1 and 2. It's just going to be a matter of how those 2 games play out. The traffic jam, as you alluded to, right now, Washington, what they'd like to do is just keep winning and try and maintain control of their own destiny as much as they can. Build their confidence as they head into the playoffs.
Well, you mentioned control destiny. They play San Jose head-to-head in their next game, although, of course, Abby Wambach and Mia Hamm will be missing Lakeisha Bean and Brandy Chastain because of national team call-up. As we take a look at that schedule, some big challenges. That Atlanta Beat meeting on the 4th of August at home is going to be a big one for Washington. Now, in talking about the Philadelphia Charge, yeah, nice to get the 2nd position, but they really want that top spot. As we take a look at the final schedule for the Philadelphia Charge, and indeed some important games left for Philadelphia. And oh, by the way, it starts with Carolina this coming weekend.
That's going to be a fantastic game as those 2 meet head-to-head. Philadelphia's led in that series, but obviously Carolina right now playing some fantastic soccer as well.
And they finish with playoff-hungry teams in San Jose and Atlanta, so those will be very competitive matches in early August. All right, we had some fun with the standings and the schedule. We're going to come back with more fun here at RFK Stadium. It's halftime, the Freedom in Charge.
Electricity is in the air and on the field as the Philadelphia Charge women's professional soccer shocked the main line for a 2nd season. Stay after the game and get autographs from your favorite players in the Maytag Autograph Alley.
Storm out to Villanova Stadium this Sunday, July 7th at 7 p.m. for Powerpuff Girls Night and meet the Powerpuff Girls. The first 3,000 kids 14 and under will receive a Powerpuff Girls tattoo.
Exciting action on the field and at the Fun Zone before and during each game. Try a family pack, just $48. Get ready to be charged.
Comprehensive cancer care is a science, but it's also an art. Each patient is unique and requires individualized treatment. The University of Pennsylvania Cancer Centers Hospital is one of America's best. Our doctors created many of today's latest treatments, and they're developing the treatments of tomorrow. When your cancer team is this focused on the future, you'll find that you can be too. Call 1-800-789-PEN.
In a world filled with hollow entertainment, there are people enjoying something else, and they're all around you. So what are they getting that you're not? 15 totally engaging minutes in their day. It's called Reading the Inquirer. And really now, wouldn't it be great to have just one chunk of your day be this engaging? It can be. Just call 888-311-9444. It's a better paper. It's a more rewarding type of fun. It's the Inquirer. Detergent not included.
Phantom season tickets are now on sale. With Phantom season tickets, you'll enjoy the excitement of Phantoms hockey from the same great seat every night at a discounted ticket price. Plus, as a Phantom season ticket holder, you'll be treated to an incredible benefits package that includes unlimited ticket exchanges, discounted parking rates, invitation to the private team skating party, and much more. For more information about Phantom season tickets, call 215-465-4522. Phantoms hockey. Check it out.
Back at RFK Stadium, halftime, Washington Freedom and Philadelphia Charge. Time to roll the VCR. Take a look back at last week in the WUSA. Hey, the Washington fans restless for some fireworks as the Freedom taking on the Atlanta Beat at RFK. We go to the 11th minute. Ani Makinen, the free kick. It's going to go over the head of Atlanta Scurry. Emmy Barr off her head in the goal. The Freedom go on to defeat the Beat. The final was 2-1. Speaking of fireworks, Independence Day matchup, Carolina Courage taking on the San Jose Cyber-Rays. East Coast, West Coast battle, 88th minute. Brigitte Prinz gets the ball to Hega. Risa almost gets the goal first time. Lakeisha being the save, but then Risa collects her 5th goal of the season. The Courage win 2-1. General manager and interim coach Kevin Crow looking for improvement from his San Diego team, taking on Boston in overtime. Game done at 4. Zhang Oing breaks to the inside, brought down by defender Chrissy McCann inside the box. A penalty kick is on the way. Julie Fahey knows she can do it. Her teammates believe she can do it. And Julie Fahey does it. Spirit rise up for a 5-4 victory. Hey, let's go back to the East Coast. Time to check into Villanova Stadium in Pennsylvania. The Charge on top of the WUSA, looking to stay that way against the New York Powers. 77th minute, Heather Mitz gets the ball. They're charging. Marinette, Pichon holds off the defender, gets her 10th goal of the season. She would go on to add 2 more. Hey, that's a hat trick. Charge turn out the power. 3-1 the final. Back with more at halftime from Washington. It is the Washington Freedom and Philadelphia Charge. WUSA Soccer on a Sunday.
Electricity is in the air and on the field as the Philadelphia Charge women's professional soccer shocked the main line for a 2nd season. Stay after the game and get autographs from your favorite players in the Maytag Autograph Alley.
Storm out to Villanova Stadium this Sunday, July 7th at 7 p.m. for Powerpuff Girls Night and meet the Powerpuff Girls. The first 3,000 kids 14 and under will receive a Powerpuff Girls tattoo.
Exciting action on the field and at the Fun Zone before and during each game. Try a family pack for just $48. Get ready to be charged.
Enjoy the greatest selection of designer merchandise for her, for him, for home, and for kids, all at fabulous prices. Off 5th, Saks Fifth Avenue Outlet. Saks Style, off 5th prices.
If you have heart problems, you need the best doctors. Penn's nationally recognized doctors specialize in angioplasty, rhythm disturbances, heart failure, and bypass surgery. Penn is one of the leading centers for heart transplantation in the region. It all adds up to the best reason to choose Penn Cardiac Care, because your heart still has a lot of work it wants to do. Call 1-800-789-PENN.
What's the coolest place for family fun? Flyer Skate Zone. Public skating is offered 362 days a year at each Flyer Skate Zone Family Entertainment Center. With ice skating, a game room, snack bar, and more, there's something fun for everyone in the family. Rental skates are available, as well as skate sharpening, equipment, and apparel, including Flyers and Phantoms merchandise in the Gear Zone. Flyer Skate Zone is also a great place for birthday parties. For public skating times, call 1-877-23-SKATE.
Blue Tilly, Monday on the Sports Connection.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Find out how you can be on the front line here at the CN8 Studios. Be one of Lou's Cannons. 4 people, 4 opinions on the big topics of the day.
The Sports Connection, Monday at 11, only on CN8.
Back at RFK Stadium, no score between the Philadelphia Charge and Washington Freedom on this sunny Sunday at RFK Stadium. Dave Johnson back with Lorrie Walker. Indeed, we have a 0-0 score at halftime and a bit of sparring going on between both teams.
Yeah, both teams sitting back right now, defending attack is somewhat limited, but I think that it's going to open up a little bit more in the second half. Both of these teams know they need the 3 points for the victory, and I think they're just kind of weighing each other out in the early first half.
All right, some moments in the first half as we take a look at the Penn Orthopedics first half highlights, the events that made us take notice in the first half, and certainly right off the bat, Baiji getting fouled. This led to a penalty kick.
Baiji and Melissa Moore becoming best friends during this game several times. Mia Hamm going to be disappointed in that miss right there, and you can see her reaction in this next segment here is she's a little bit frustrated as she steps up and she just pulls the ball wide to the left.
Did I mention Baiji? She was a bit involved for Washington in this first half.
Absolutely. We see here again Moore colliding with Baiji. That kept Baiji down a little bit, but she seems to be okay, recovering back on the field. Probably one of the better chances here. Lihong from a wide position. No problem for Erin Fahey, obviously looking for Pichon on the opposite side. Kerry Connor in more deep position. Deflection can be a dangerous situation off a Barr.
We take a look at the numbers from the first half of play. Well, you have a 0-0 game. Fairly even, though. Philadelphia getting more on frame.
Absolutely. As you look there, 4 shots even for each team. As I said, I think both teams are just sort of sitting back, and there isn't a lot of attacking that's gone on in this first half.
All right, the Philadelphia Charge in Washington, Freedom from RFK Stadium on this Sunday afternoon. We're coming back with the second half.
Electricity is in the air and on the field as the Philadelphia Charge women's professional soccer shocked the main line for a second season. Stay after the game and get autographs from your favorite players in the Maytag Autograph Alley.
Storm out to Villanova Stadium this Sunday, July 7th at 7 p.m. for Powerpuff Girls Night and meet the Powerpuff Girls. The first 3,000 kids 14 and under will receive a Powerpuff Girls tattoo.
Exciting action on the field and at the Fun Zone before and during each game. Try a family pack for just $48. Get ready to be charged.
I'm your Venus, I'm your fire,
Only Venus from Gillette gives you smoothness that makes you feel like a goddess. Each shower-safe refill has soft cushions that surround 3 blades for the closest shave ever in just 1 stroke. So close, your skin stays smoother, longer, which all goddesses deserve. Venus, reveal the goddess in you. Now indulge yourself with new Satin Care Shave Gel from Gillette.
Now at your Quality Plus Ford dealer, it's the final days of the Great American Ford Sales Event. Your last chance to find great Ford vehicles with the greatest deals of the year. Like Ford Focus with low 0% financing or up to $2,500 cash back. Plus, get a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection plan on a new Ford Focus. It's the Great American Ford Sales Event. Hurry, see your Quality Plus Ford dealer now.
If you need joint surgery, you want the best doctors. Penn Orthopedics has more orthopedic surgeons than anyone in the region. They perform more kinds of bone and joint surgery, and they're leaders in developing materials for longer-lasting results. And Penn is ranked among the nation's best. It all adds up to the best reason to choose Penn Orthopedics. You'll get a real kick out of your Penn doctor. Call 1-800-789-PENN.
This game is brought to you by Discovery Kids, where it's your world and your adventure. Hyundai. Every Hyundai is backed by the Freedom of America's best warranty, the Hyundai Advantage. Freedom is calling. Answer it with Hyundai. By NovaCare. NovaCare Rehabilitation, the leader in physical rehabilitation with 90 centers in the Delaware Valley. And by Marriott, the official hotel of the Washington Freedom. Back at RFK Stadium, no score between the Philadelphia Charge and Washington Freedom. Again, Philadelphia in the white, Washington in the blue, no score. It'll be interesting to see how this deadlock is broken in the second half of play. As Lorrie mentioned, both teams sitting back a bit. Washington typically gets some flank players like Skylar a little involved in the offense. She's trying to do that just now. Jennifer Tietjen, though, prevents it from getting to Baiji. Zhao Lihong now on that far side. Last time these two teams met in Philadelphia, it was a very tense battle that ended in a 1-1 tie. But that second goal, the tying goal by Philadelphia, not coming until the 87th minute. We have a free kick coming up here for Washington. Look at Rebekah McDowell with the foul. I know, Lorrie, you're wondering how long Mia Hamm and Fahey will be involved.
Well, that's obviously, I think, one of the keys to watch here in the second half.
Moore punches it away on the Grubb free kick. Zhao Lihong now. Plays it back to Benson.
You got it!
Skylar Little. And she cannot link up with Mia Hamm, but a throw it coming up for Philadelphia.
So we take a look there at Mia. I think that's going to be one of the interesting pieces to watch. You know, she's still trying to work on her fitness, trying to get herself to a position where she can go 90 minutes. And starting today, that gives her an opportunity to deepen that base. And I think that the coaches are going to leave it up to her to see how long she thinks she can play.
If you're Mark Krikorian, what did you say to your team at halftime?
Well, I think number one, Philadelphia was doing a very nice job of maintaining possession and just being patient, and that's really been their style. The Charge is known as the second half team, and so I think that they're right in line with what their tactics are and what they're looking to do.
Iverson steps up for the free kick. Zhao Lihong trying to get onto it. Skylar Little shields her from it, but knocks the ball on a play. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Philadelphia.
Fahey, keep coming. Front. Skylar, get her in front.
See instructions you can hear being given to the Washington defense. Fahey volleys it away. Benson, but now Little knocks it forward to Hamm. Hamm settles it well in the midfield. Again, this is her first start today, Hamm, so she's played the full 48 minutes. Now, Erin Fahey got in a very difficult position. And Cook, long ball field. Now watch Fahey's speed. Jennifer Tietjen knows all about it, and she escorts it out of play.
Well, Fahey needs to be careful. I think that Pichon is one of those players that you can't even begin to understand how quick she is until you're actually on the field with her. Fahey gets a ball back. That's a situation she should probably clear that out one time.
Skylar Little to handle the throw-in.
Three coming in, stay, three.
Little for Fahey. Getting in front there was Lorrie Fair. But Ann Cook comes up with it for Washington. Emmy Barr in support. Barr chased by McDowell. Barr gets the cross, but Mitz traps it for Philadelphia. Heather Mitz. Now ahead to Zhao Lihong. Zhao Lihong, the counterattack is on. Marinette Pichon getting in position. Zhao Lihong drives it. Jen Grubb traps it, clears it. McDowell steps up, puts it back into play for Philadelphia. It pinballs to Barr, who clears. When you go to Charge games live, Pichon is a fun player if you want to focus on off the ball. It's interesting to see, I think, for young players to watch a player like Marinette Pichon, kind of the science of how you get yourself in position to score a goal.
Well, I think that's one of the things that her coaches are crediting her for, is her ability to create space, not just for herself, but for the other players.
Pichon, the angle shut down there by Kerry Moore, who again has had a very challenging assignment this afternoon. Kerry Moore of Washington against Marinette Pichon, and certainly has handled it.
You have to respect Pichon. You've got to stay with her. She's not one of those players you can allow her just to float in behind you, and that's, again, what opens up space for other players to come through.
A goal kick for Erin Fahey. And that was Pichon with her first shot coming in the 50th minute. So that's something Washington can certainly be proud of from a defensive standpoint. Long ball for Pichon. Grubb prevents her from getting to it. It'll be a throw-in, though, coming up for Philadelphia. So 50 minutes in, first shot for Marinette Pichon.
Well, I would have to credit Kerry Moore with doing a great job marking her one-on-one.
It'll be a throw-in coming up for Jennifer Tietjen. Iverson gets a header on it. Connors had a foot on it, but Barr clears it. Zhao Lihong keeps it alive. Connors getting in position. Skylar Little clears it. A corner kick for Philadelphia. But Kerry Connors right there at the 6. Got a foot on it. But now Washington has to defend again.
Again, Tietjen with a long throw in here. Dangerous flick on inside of the box. Difficult space. Do you come out? Do you go as a goalkeeper? Clearance to the top of the box there. I think Fahey made the right decision to stay at home.
Fair on the corner, headed away by Abby Wambach. Nice to have the presence of Wambach on the offensive side, now on the defensive side in those situations. Melissa Moore steps up. And it'll be a throw coming up for Washington. Hey, you want to be your favorite movie, a TV star? Head out to Villanova Stadium Wednesday, July 24th at 7 for who else? Scooby-Doo. It's Scooby-Doo night, presented by VoiceStream. And you can ask how you can get a private meet and greet with Scooby-Doo before the game. Call 215-467-GOAL or visit PhiladelphiaCharge.com to find out how you can beat, without question, America's favorite canine. Scooby-Doo night coming up on Wednesday, July 24th. And don't forget to ask about how you get the private meet and greet. Kind of a backstage pass, if you will, with Scooby-Doo. Throw in for Philadelphia. Hamm. Abby Wambach. Challenged by McDowell. Fair pokes it away. Stacey Tullock down. Heather Mitz will come up on the flank. Connors goes in the middle. Grubb tracks it down for Washington and will just make sure it goes out of play.
Well, Dave, it's interesting again to watch how these systems are battling against one another. And the thing I think right now that Washington's getting caught up in is having to adjust out of respect for, the strength of Philadelphia. And Wambach is getting pulled back into the midfield, and in some ways that's forcing Baiji to be the lone forward up top for the Washington Freedom.
Iverson challenged by Baiji. Plays back to Tietjen. Hamm swarming as Washington somewhat trying to step up the pressure on the Philadelphia backs. McDowell digs in, wins the ball. Lorrie fair now. Marinette Pichon making a run. Marinette Pichon, but Fahey comes out. Erin Fahey coming out. And also Kerry Moore paying the price.
Have an opportunity here to watch Pichon as she's making this run across the top of the box. She does such a nice job to keep her body between Moore and the goal. You can watch here, her first couple steps, she's so explosive, she's able to get behind Kerry Moore, doesn't even have to look for her, reaches back, feels where she is, ball's coming across, she can get her toe on that, opportunity to redirect it into the goal.
There's her numbers. But Kerry Moore prevents her from getting the shot off. And indeed, as you mentioned, the fact that Pichon not credited with a shot until the 50th minute, a lot of that going to Kerry Moore, the defender for the Freedom. Benson. Zhao Lihong. Skylar Little. Trying to set it up the flank. Hamm is slowed, plays it in the middle. But instead, Heather Mitz comes up with it. Lorrie fair for Philadelphia. Still no score, 55 minutes in. Heather Mitz now storming forward. Abby Wambach shadowing. McDowell gets it wide to Zhao Lihong. Marked by Little. Little stuffs the cross. Now help from Jenny Benson. Zhao Lihong will get another crack at the cross. And it'll be a goal kick coming up for Erin Fahey. Well, don't forget to tune into Comcast Sportsnet next Sunday at 6 o'clock for more WUSA action as the Freedom head to San Jose take on the Cyber Rays. Then at 10, of course, you get the daily sports news wrap-up on Sports Night. Every day, game day, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Skylar Little playing it for Baiji. Jennifer Tietjen's on Baiji. Baiji against two defenders trying to create something. Tullock, though, comes in to finally pry it away from Philadelphia. Now Washington. And Cook. It will not reach Baiji. Barr started to step up, trying to win that 50-50, but Connors didn't get to it. Now Mitz keeps it in play. Wambach pokes it away. Long ball now for Baiji. The flag is up. Huwei trying to find Baiji, but the flag was up.
Once again, it's as the ball is struck. Where is Baiji? Absolutely offsides by about 2 yards.
Monica Gerardo is going to come in, and also coming in, Ailing replaces Stacey Tullock, and Monica Gerardo replaces Baiji. So there's the answer to your question, how long Baiji would go today. She almost won 60 minutes, 57 minutes.
Well, that takes a more traditional midfielder and allows Mia Hamm to be pushed up top. Should allow Washington to gain a little bit more possession in their front line with the forwards if Wambach can stay a little bit higher.
And with Ailing coming in.
Ailing led the charge last year in total points. A tremendous player. Has had to change her role a little bit, but absolutely has been one of the players that come in late for the charge and has settled the game down. Very good at maintaining possession, very comfortable with the ball at her feet.
Marinette Pichon. Pichon marked, of course, by Kerry Moore. That's been the game within the game this afternoon. Emmy Barr knocks it away. Huwei comes back. We'll play it to Erin Fahey. She thunders it upfield. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the charge. This has really been a heavyweight sparring battle between these two teams.
Well, as you enter into this last third of the season, it's obviously you need all of the points.
Get there!
But at the same time, you got to kind of sit back and be patient about it. You don't want to be giving up points. Get 1 point and then resulting in a tie is certainly better than losing the game at this point in the season.
Jen Grubb with a nice clearance as Rebekah McDowell made a run into the box. Jenny Benson with a throw-in. Jennifer Tietjen. Now Benson. Zhao Lihong trying to link up with Ailing. And Cook down to Monica Gerardo. Lorrie Fair steps up. Steffi Jones knocks it away. Abby Wambach is tangled up with Heather Mitz, and now Iverson sends it upfield. Huwei with the back heel. Now Gerardo. Kerry Connors from Philadelphia. Iverson, pressure by Hamm. And Abby Wambach will get the foul on Heather Mitz.
I think Wambach's a little frustrated right now, having to defend a little bit more than she's used to. As I said, she's the one that's having to drop back into that midfield to try and help out with the numbers. You see Mia Hamm there grabbing a hold of a little bit of jersey. I think, again, that's just shows the frustration the forwards for the Freedom are feeling right now.
Hamm tugging on the jersey of Erica Iverson. Philadelphia get in the white. Washington in the blue. I'm Dave Johnson, along with Ohio State head coach Lorrie Walker from RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. Zhao Lihong trying to get into Ailing, but headed away by Steffi Jones. Now Jones. Zhao Lihong puts the ball in the space. Skylar Little under pressure. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Erin Fahey. Oh, he reached the 60-minute mark. And still no score. Goal kick by Fahey. Gerardo for Hamm. Marked by Tietjen. Hamm was looking for Abby Wambach at the 6. And that's not what Hamm meant to do. They got away from him.
Well, once again, this the switch here and taking out Baiji puts Hamm in a position where she's absolutely much more comfortable than being in the midfield. She can take on 1v1, stands up Tietjen here. Could have possibly been deflected off of her, but Hamm picking up her head, trying to find Wambach on the back post, raises her hand towards Wambach, acknowledging that she saw her there.
Free kick for Washington. And Grubb to take the free kick, and she is very good on these free kicks. Grubb into the box, punched away. Gerardo trying to get a foot on it. Cook keeps it alive for Washington. Stepping up more. Wambach gets a head on it. Abby Wambach got a head on it. It's cleared by Iverson.
Well, Melissa Moore doing a great job of showing why she is leading the league right now in her goals against average. Just absolutely dominating her box. For those young goalkeepers that are out there, this is what a coach means about dominating the box, coming out.
To Mia Hamm. Hamm creates space. It ricochets off Iverson. It will be a corner kick coming up. But again, Jen Grubb on those long balls.
Well, Mia Hamm really does make some things happen. She does a nice job here to hold off the charge defense, find a new seam, deflects off of Tietjen for a corner.
Hamm to take the corner. Mia Hamm. Moore is able to fist it away. And no easy task when you have Abby Wambach in your 6-yard box. And we'll have a foul call, I believe, on Marinette Pichon. So free kick for Washington.
Well, Iverson's been doing a nice job against Wambach, but Wambach has still about 4 inches in height. She stands at 5'11". Obviously, the extension that Moore has with her arms can make all the difference on those crosses. If she hesitates for 1 second, Abby's going to have that ball in the back of the net. So again, kudos to Moore for controlling her box.
Skylar Little. The flick by Hamm. Benson prevented it, and now have a throw-in for Washington. Hamm, the quick throw-in. Steffi Jones stepping up. Jones poked away from her. Out from Van Cook. She drives it. Gerardo wins the ball. They're trying to get it wide. They can't. McDowell gets it, and it's fouled by Monica Gerardo. Hey, are you fan enough? Pick up a Charge fan pack. You pick the games, you get the best discounts. You can call 215-467-GOLD if you're fan enough. McDowell is fouled again by Hancock. And it'll be a free kick coming up for Philadelphia. 64 minutes in.
Dave, you made reference earlier to being live and having an opportunity to watch Pichon in action. Another thing that I don't think the fans at home can really appreciate right now is that the Charger defending with 10 players behind the ball at all times. As Washington attacks with 5, 6, or 7, they are always outnumbered. The Charger does such a good job of getting bodies back behind the ball. And you can see right there, there's 4 players in and around Pu-Wei as she's attempting to try and get to the end line.
Well, indeed, the numbers have been back for Philadelphia.
You get to look here. Shirts. Look at all those white shirts. 2, 3. There's 4 blue players in that area with 7, 8 consistently, even up to 10 Charge players. That is, as we said in our opener, what really has defined this Charge team.
Cleared by Iverson. It'll be a corner kick. Really, for Washington, you have to believe these are really the best chances that are going to come against such an organized Philadelphia team. Mia Hamm to take the corner. And he got forwards Wambach, but McDowell heads it away. Now Jen Grubb. Ailing comes up with it for Marinette Pichon. Pichon. Zhao Lihong. McDowell. Poked away by Fahey. The way Moore is marked Pichon this afternoon. She may follow her back to Philadelphia. Connors. The ricochet. Barr is going to try to prevent the corner. She does. But it goes right to Mintz. She touches it to Connors. Philadelphia's got the patient buildup. McDowell to Mintz. Mintz. Grubb heads it away. Hamm traps it down. Gerardo, nice touch to Fahey. McDowell slows up Fahey. Wambach wins the ball. Iverson is on her. Tell you what, you've had Iverson on Wambach and Kerry Moore on Pichon. It's been great games within the game.
Yeah, the 1v1 battles that are going on here, and that's always the simplicity of the game of soccer. 1 versus 1, it's like a cat and a mouse game. And from an attacking perspective, all it takes is that one time for a player to get in. From the defensive perspective, we talked about it earlier, you can't make a mistake as a defender. And so it's a constant, it's not just a physical battle, it's a mental battle.
So Mandy Clemens comes in for Kerry Connors for Philadelphia.
Not a bad player to have sitting on your bench. Mandy Clemens in and out with the national team pool. Again, with the change in the system since the injury to Kelly Smith, she has gone from being a tandem player with Pichon to now being a reserve player coming in off the bench. She's very talented. Watch for her to have an impact here in the waning moments of this game.
Ailing looking for Pichon. Pichon got the leg up, and it will be a free kick. Fahey. Monica Gerardo. But Lorrie Fair flies it away. This really has the feel of a one-goal game. And hence the tension. You don't know when that wire is going to be broken. When one of these teams will finally break through.
The last 15 minutes, Washington's really done a nice job to maintain possession and sort of slow down that counterattacking style of the charge. Again, is that as a result of Mia Hamm being up high and her being in a position where she's more comfortable, difficult to say, but it does look like Washington's in a much more familiar shape, pushing forward and getting their players involved in the attack.
Steffi Jones steps up. Headed away by Fair for Philadelphia. Pichon touches it off to McDowell. Kerry Moore prevents it from getting to Pichon, plays it back. Darren Fahey. Gerardo does not trap it, but now recovers. Emmy Barr looking for Abby Wambach. Iverson plays it back to her keeper. Trapped by Mintz. Fahey right away on her. Mandy Clemens. Back to Mintz. Grubb steps up to Gerardo. Now Hamm. Fahey. It will not reach Abby Wambach. Steffi Jones. But this is what you were talking about with Washington.
Yeah, Washington is much more comfortable attacking from a wide position. That's the way they've been successful all year. You see Barr getting involved, Skylar Little getting involved, and what that allows is Wambach to stay more central, along with Hamm, and even Fahey. Serve balls into the box. That's how they're dangerous. That's what's brought them success in the last few games.
Look at Skylar Little getting called for the foul on Ailing.
Yeah, still not permitted in this league to reach up and grab someone by the collar.
Not in front of the referee, anyway. In Philadelphia, the white, Washington in the blue. Steffi Jones wins it. And Cook. Fahey, pressure by Mandy Clemens. And now Lorrie Fair comes up with it for the charge. To Clemens. move there by Clemens to elude Emmy Barr. Lorrie Fair. McDowell. She's got Pichon and Ailing in the box. Looking for Pichon. It ricochets into the 6. Pichon collapsing, trying to draw the foul, but the whistle not coming from Marcel Sapos, the referee. Erin Fahey, long ball upfield for Hamm. Instead, Tietjen heads it. Skylar Little gets away from Zhao Lihong. Plays into space for Hamm. Benson calmly handles it to Tietjen, and now Benson. We're over to the Freedom game on Saturday, July 27th. It's a special one. DC United as well. 2 games for the price of 1 ticket. Freedom and San Diego Spirit at 4, then DC United and the New England Revolution. Tickets still available. 202-432-SEAT. It's always a great value. 2 games for the price of 1 coming up on July 27th. But those tickets typically go fast, so don't waste time. Steffi Jones. Mia Hamm. Now Ann Cook. Emmy Barr with acres of space on the left. To Jen Grubb. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Washington. Mitz concedes the throw-in. Washington pressing forward.
Well, Dave, here's one of the interesting things that happens is the game goes on, the players get more anxious to get forward and score. And in that last series, we had Barr pushed forward, Steffi Jones was pushed forward, and as soon as that pass went into Barr, you'd think that the coaches would be excited about getting an attack going, and immediately they both stood up and were instructing Cook to slide back so that they weren't leaving Pichon in a 2 versus 1 situation up top. That's what's been so successful for the Charge over the course of this season. Teams get anxious.
Jen Grubb with the service. Steffi Jones got a head on it. Still alive. Gerardo trying to break through as Washington just storming the goal.
Nice positioning here from a wide spot. Again, serving inside the 6. Moore does a good job to try and get on that. Doesn't get the ball cleanly. Dangerous situation there for Washington.
Hamm. Jones got a head on a Wambach. Headed down. It is cleared off the line by Mandy Clemens. Mandy Clemens saving the day. Now Grubb sends it again. Jones traps, turns, shoots. Wambach. Wambach shoots. Into the net. Into the net. Into the net. Goal. Freedom.
Well, Dave, you talked about it. You could feel the excitement building for Washington, keeping the pressure on, settling into their type of play, servicing the box. It was almost just a matter of time for the Freedom to be knocking on the door. Ball comes in initially. Steffi Jones does a nice job to turn. Wambach finds herself in a great position. Nice composure to spin the ball on the top of the 6 and just finish it past Moore. You can see it even deflects off of, I believe that's Clemens' arm as she's standing in there in the goal. They're not going to call that back. Obviously, it was already in the net.
Well, Mandy Clemens saved it off the line 1 time, but couldn't do it a second. And now Washington, Erin Fahey, can they hang on is the question, because they certainly need the 3 points more than just the 1. But as you were talking about leading up to that, is Washington wanted to make sure they had the defensive responsibilities sorted out, because while you can argue they need the 3 points more than Philadelphia, they can ill afford to come away with nothing.
That's right. Well, this is where the game of soccer becomes a ton of fun. The last 15 minutes of play, obviously Philadelphia's going to try and push forward. Freedom have to be careful they don't just sit back and defend, though.
Mia Hamm looking for Wambach. Now Clemens trying to clear Gerardo. Muscles in there, but the handball is called. But Monica Gerardo not afraid to storm the goal. As we look at Abby Wambach, the goal scorer.
Well, the number one job of a player coming in off the bench is to help elevate the level. Obviously, Gerardo has fresh legs, so she's been doing a great job out on that flank to get balls played wide and continue to service the box. It's made all the difference in the world tonight for the Freedom.
Zhao Lihong looking for Pichon. And Erin Fahey communicates well to her defenders and comes up with it. This has been the kind of game where I think even if you're just watching it, you do a lot of pacing because two teams very disciplined today. They played very well, both teams. Wambach. Iverson gets up. And those Wambach again. The ricochet corner kick and those Philadelphia white jerseys that are hardly white anymore, certainly showing the commitment to this game this afternoon. So Hamm in the 77th minute playing through.
Well, and this was one of the things that Jim Gabarra and I spoke about. How long do you let Mia Hamm play? You let Mia Hamm play until she doesn't think she can go. I guarantee you that's going to be 90 minutes if you really leave it up to Mia.
Mia Hamm with the service. Moore comes out. Jones is in near post. Grubb keeps it alive. Headed away by McDowell. And then finally cleared by Heather Mintz. And Mia Hamm no longer has a knee brace on that she had on, or has had on the last few games. And of course, the first half. Marinette, Pichon. Pichon sets the table. But there's nobody there with a reservation.
The difficulty of being the lone forward is that if you get faced up, there have to be players coming up in support. And in that situation, Pichon does a nice job to get to the sideline and to bring the ball across. No one there for the charge out of the midfield to make that a dangerous play.
Philadelphia in the white, looking for the equalizer. Washington in the blue trying to prevent that. Trapped by McDowell. Clemens. Now back to Iverson. Now Lorrie Fair challenged by Hamm. That's why Fair to quickly get it wide to the left. Jenny Benson is there. Charge patient. Blue Ailing. Tietjen and Hamm battling. A throw in for Philadelphia. McDowell. Shut down by Skylar Little. Fouled by Skylar Little. And a card given to Skylar Little.
Yeah, the card given to Skylar Little is for kicking the ball away. Obviously on her part, that's a little bit of gamesmanship to try and slow things down. Professional level though, they have those ball girls there, so they can toss the ball right back in. But you can see they're hacking at the ankles and then whacking the ball out of bounds.
79 minutes in. Great opportunity here. Zhao Lihong. Philadelphia wants to get a sub in. Jenny Benson is going to go out. Erin Martin will come in. What about this substitution?
Well, Erin Martin has been a very strong player again off the bench for Philadelphia. They pride themselves on being one of the deepest teams in the league, and they don't feel that there's any drop-off as they have to make some substitutions. She's had many good minutes. She's a tremendous player.
Fahey the save on the effort by Lihong.
Tremendous player in college, and so again, she's going to bring an attacking flavor to the midfield for the charge.
Looks like Washington is going to bring on Zimny, a defender. Abby Wambach heads it down. Iverson comes up with it. So Casey Zimny is getting set to check in. And really no mystery there as Washington tries to shut this game down. Mandy Clemens in the middle to Lou Ailing. It'll be a goal kick coming up. So Zimny is going to come in from Pouet as we look at Mark Krikorian.
Zimny is a defensive player. He's going to probably come in and again solidify that midfield. Fresh legs should help to shut down what hopefully will be an attempt here by the Charge in the last few minutes to try and get their attack going. Zimny, a rookie, has had a very good impact. Early on was a starter for the Freedom. Settled into a very solid role. She can play in the back line. She can play in the midfield. Very technical player.
Philadelphia has not lost since the 19th of May at San Diego. 1-0 loss. Mandy Clemens coming forward. And it'll be a corner kick. But Philadelphia has lots of time. We'll try to get an equalizer. And then maybe something else. Remember, it was Marinette Pichon who scored in the 87th minute to make it a 1-1 game the last time these two teams played. Zhao Lihong on the corner kick, and we've got a whistle.
25 going out.
As Erin Fahey was lost in a Charge crowd. I think Jennifer Tietjen gets called for foul.
Yeah, 6 players in there collapsing back on Erin Fahey. General rule of thumb, you can't touch the goalkeeper inside her 6-yard box.
It's rare you can't even see the keeper on a corner kick, but she literally disappeared in a sea of white.
Absolutely, you can see several players.
There
you
she
just
is.
see her hands kind of stepping up there.
She's somewhere there. Mia Hamm sends it upfield. So again, Mia Hamm, her first start, she's gone the full 82 minutes so far, almost 83.
Well, once again, Dave, the beauty of soccer is that it becomes like a chess match at this point in time. The Charge putting on an attacking player, the Freedom respond, adding a defensive player, and it really is about attention to detail at this point to see who's going to come out with the 3 points at the end.
Erin Martin, who's just come in. Now Mandy Clemens. Clemens, this one skips across the middle. It is cleared by Casey Zimny.
Bring it out, why?
Zhao Lihong pressures Lou Ailing, and she is fouled by Casey Zimny in a very difficult position to give up a foul. This is a great opportunity here for Philadelphia.
Very good opportunity, and we'll chalk that one up to maybe a rookie mistake. Zimny's got to come in and be a little more careful of where she's committing that foul on the top of the box here. Not a good time to be pushing and creating that opportunity.
Especially when you have Mia Hamm right there and you have support from your teammates. So now Erin Fahey and the Freedom. Zhao Lihong on the ball, the crossbar, and then it's cleared by Moore. But it's in. It's in the net. It is in the net. It went off the crossbar, and the referee's assistant ruling that it did cross the line to tie it at 1. Moore did clear it for Washington after it went off the crossbar. But the ruling is Zhao Lihong has equalized.
Fahey manages to get just a little bit of a finger on it. It bounces down. It definitely is across the line. It's a strong call there by the referee's assistant. I know that the coaches are going to be watching that, but it's very clear and obvious. Hits the crossbar, bounces down, and then ricochets out of the goal.
Zhao Lihong has equalized in the 85th minute. And Washington has to be feeling like it's deja vu all over again. As we mentioned the last time, it was the 87th minute that Marinette Pichon equalized to make it a 1-1 game. And a free kick coming up for Washington.
Well, Dave, I hate to be the jinx, but that is the attention to detail that I'm talking about in the final 10 minutes of the game. That can make all the difference. Difficult spot to give up a foul. I know Zimny would like to have that back.
Melissa Moore prevents Gerardo from getting that ball to Mia Hamm. Ailing winning the ball. Now Lorrie Fair. Zhao Lihong, the goal scorer. Erin Martin gets to it. Martin dancing on it. Ailing. McDowell for Pichon. Pichon drives it to save Fahey. Calling in Philadelphia.
Pichon showing her professionalism. You can see here once again able to use her body to screen more off, allows the ball to come. Very nice save by Fahey to keep Pichon's ball out of the net.
Now the corner kick. And Iverson was there, but it's punched away by Fahey as Erica Iverson was right in Erin Fahey's face. Rebekah McDowell, marked by Grubb. McDowell, shot blocked by Jones. As Philadelphia trying to get all 3 points here this afternoon. Gerardo. Zimny. Hamm with the left foot. No one in the middle. Miss kick by Mix. Cook trying to capitalize. And Philadelphia with the ball. Don't forget about the Founders Cup. It's coming up August 24th. The WUSA Championship game. 1877 Soccer 1 and to be a part of it. Heather Mintz traps it down. Almost 88 minutes. Clemens. Now Erin Martin. Blocked by Barr. Barr trying to win it. McDowell to Clemens. Looking for Pichon. Kerry Moore. Sweeps it away. McDowell is fouled. Hyundai hero of the game for the Washington Freedom, brought to you by your Baltimore Washington Hyundai dealers. Abby Wambach, $1,000 donated to the Jimmy Fund in honor of our Hyundai hero of the game for Washington. The goal scorer for the Freedom, Abby Wambach. Zhao Lihong scoring for the Philadelphia Charge. Stepping up is Tietjen, a throw-in for Washington. And Mia Hamm doesn't take it because there's not numbers up to warrant a quick throw-in.
Yeah, absolutely. She quickly looked up, and Abby Wambach pleading to the midfield to step up. It's an interesting thing that happens at this point in the game. The college level, usually the game becomes more exciting because the players don't want to have to play overtime, play 2 15-minute overtimes. Obviously, here at the professionals, it will end in a tie. And sometimes at this point in the game, both teams concede to just the 1 point.
We're told there'll be 3 minutes of stoppage time. So when that scoreboard clock reaches 93, this tension-filled game will come to an end. And there still may be a victory in it for one of these teams. A free kick coming up for Washington. So they're showing 3 minutes of stoppage time, but as you mentioned, Lorrie, that it was going to be about attention to detail in this game. For Washington to break free, they were pressuring, winning corner kicks, they finally score, and Philadelphia getting a free kick. So it really, it came down to that pressure to either make a defender make a mistake and you get your chance, and it may be your one and only really good chance.
Well, absolutely, and you've got to credit Washington for being persistent, being able to break down Philadelphia and get on the board first. But this Charge team is not one that's rolled over and died yet, and that's one of the reasons why they've led the league the entire year in first place. They're just very solid, and they know that the game is 90 minutes long and anything can happen.
Well, in a league this competitive, so many teams have such high-quality players, it's really amazing that you're in July with only 1 loss on your ledger.
Absolutely, it's just a testament to the players themselves. Their ability to continue to play through the adversity of losing some of their key players and the adversity of playing through such a long season. It'll be interesting to watch what happens with Philadelphia here in the last 6-7 games of the season. Can they maintain that type of intensity?
Zhao Lihong servicing Pichon, but coming out is Fahey, the courage of the keeper. Well, if Washington can at least get a point out of this, they will move into a tie with Atlanta on 22 points for third place. Hamm fouling Heather Mitz are effectively pushing San Jose on the outside looking in. Into stoppage time again. We probably have about 2 minutes left in this match.
You get to this point in the game, Dave, and you got to wonder what that penalty kick, if it had been converted for Washington, what that would have done to change the outcome of this game.
Mandy Clemens. The ricochet. Barr has to head it away to keep it from Erin Martin. Ailing, McDowell flicking it. Pichon trying to get a position, trying to get a foot on it, but Fahey is there. You make a great point there, going back to the 10th minute when Pichon was fouled in the box and Hamm uncharacteristically missing a penalty kick. Mandy Clemens down for Philadelphia. Zimny slows her down. And we're going to get a foul and a free kick for Washington. And that'll do it. This one ends in a draw, 1-1. A tenacious battle here in our nation's capital this afternoon. It's time now for our Got Milk play of the game. It belongs to Zhao Lihong.
Zhao Lihong with a free kick from the top of the box, able to beat Fahey over the top, skims on the underside of the crossbar. You can see the round post there, directs the ball down.
And that tied in a reason to smile for Philadelphia as they escape with a point, and so does Washington. They share the points this afternoon in a 1-1 draw at RFK Stadium.
Electricity is in the air and on the field as the Philadelphia Charge women's professional soccer shocked the main line for a second season. Stay after the game and get autographs from your favorite players in the Maytag Autograph Alley.
Storm out to Villanova Stadium this Sunday, July 7th at 7 p.m. for Powerpuff Girls Night and meet the Powerpuff Girls. The first 3,000 kids 14 and under will receive a Powerpuff Girls tattoo.
Exciting action on the field and at the Fun Zone before and during each game. Try a family pack, just $48. Get ready to be charged.
Phantom season tickets are now on sale. With Phantom season tickets, you'll enjoy the excitement of Phantoms hockey from the same great seat every night at a discounted ticket price. Plus, as a Phantom season ticket holder, you'll be treated to an incredible benefits package that includes unlimited ticket exchanges, discounted parking rates, invitation to the private